Today is day 203, switching to easy mode. So, yeah, I've read these people that talk about getting into the flow, talk about, I'm in the flow. They talk about all these ways that you can get yourself into the flow, like this formula you have to follow. Well, I've tried all of these things. And by the way, they sometimes work. And the reason they work is because I'm in the mood for it to work. But most of the time, they don't work. And by the way, what worked for me in my 20s doesn't work for me in my 30s. And what works in the 30s doesn't work in the 40s, and so on and so on. So there is no magic process, no magic pill that you can take to get yourself into that highly productive mode where you can get stuff done. And I used to think that I was like this manic, depressive, weird, person that was suffering from some major ailment, because I would have times when I was doing really great and times when I was not doing so. So I felt like I was going through these cycles. Well, as I've gotten older, looking back, I realized, no, I'm just human. This is just the way people are. We're just this biological creature, right? That just has all these inputs going on. I mean, let's say you don't drink enough water one day. That could impact you. Or, there's just a million reasons why. Like maybe you didn't get enough potassium one day and you don't realize it. And that had an impact on you. And there's so many millions of things that can be impacting the way you think and feel. And it's just so diverse that it's not even controllable. Now, you can stay healthy, you can eat well, you can drink enough water, you can, have a good nutritious meals, you can exercise regularly. All those things are great things. And those things will increase your likelihood that you'll be in a good enough mood to perform at a high level. So you'll probably have more frequency of good, high performing days if you are doing all those good things. So that I'm not taking away from that. But here's what I want to point out. Let's say you do everything perfect. Let's say you wake up on time, you go to bed early, you sleep well, you eat well, you drink enough fluids, you are exercising, you're doing everything right, you're checking all the boxes, yet still you'll wake up one day and you won't feel like doing anything. You'll just feel miserable. And, I used to try to look for what was wrong. Like, what's wrong with me? But come to find out there's nothing wrong with me. I'm just a human. So instead of trying to fix the problem, I've just come to accept the problem. And so I've just decided that there are some days when I'm able to do awesome, complex things. And there are other days when I'm not going to be able to do so. I learned this while learning how to run. So I've been running a lot every day. And I just learned that no matter how hard I tried, there were some days I would just wake up and my legs would feel like lead, and tying my shoes was a problem. There's no rhyme or reason for it. It's just the way it was. And then other days I would wake up and feel on fire, like I could run forever. So rather than trying to have this perfect schedule with everything on, exactly the way I want it to be, I just had to learn with going with the flow. Like sometimes just not going to be able to have the energy today, like today's not going to be a 20-mile day. Today's going to be a 2-mile day. Sorry. But then some days I wake up when it was supposed to be a 2-mile day and I feel like running 20. So I might as well run 20. So my point is that there is no fix to this problem. Now you can improve it by all the things I've mentioned, but you can't fix it completely. So what do we do instead? This is what I call, I need to go to easy mode. So some days I wake up and I just don't feel like doing anything. I'm struggling. I don't want to be in the flow. It's really hard to be in the flow when you don't want to be in the flow. So I don't know about you, but I have this long laundry list accumulated of small little tasks that I gotta get done that I don't want to do. Like do the bills, or take care of the mail, or clean out that junk drawer, or work on the garage, or take my car to get an oil change, or I mean, I have a long list of things that I got to do. And by the way, I ignore these things until one day these things accumulate and come knocking, and then I'm really in bad shape. Like, if I don't get that oil change in that car, there will come a day when I really will pay the price for not doing the basics. So I have a long laundry list of the basics, the easy things, things that don't take a lot of mental capacity. For example, just calling some friends of mine that I've known for years, like just picking up the phone and connecting with a friend. That's important, but it's not urgent and it's not something that's hard. It's actually rather easy to do. Have a conversation with them. Yet I never really make time for these things. So instead of trying to force myself to be in the flow at all times, I've created what I call a win-win with my psyche. I give myself freedom from guilt and I go into easy mode. All right, I'm not feeling that great. Today's going to be easy mode. So I flip the easy mode switch and then I do all the easy stuff. And I check a bunch of boxes, get a bunch of stuff done, get that laundry done, call that person I've been meaning to call. Do that, run that errand that take the dry cleaning in, all this stuff that I know I have to do but don't want to do. And then what ends up happening is because I'm able to check a bunch of stuff off, easy stuff, I feel productive. I feel good. And it's weird because the next day or two, I'm suddenly on fire again. I'm back in the zone. I'm back in the flow. Because, you know what? I needed a mental break. I needed to go take some time off and get some stuff done. So I've stopped trying to regulate my days so that I'm forced into this paradigm of always having to be at the high level. If my success depends on me being at the highest possible level at all times, then I'm just going to fail. I need my success to be based on the fact that about 40% of the time I'll be at the highest level, and the rest of the time I'm just going to be a normal human. So anyway, point is, if you're like me and you struggle with the cyclical thing, give yourself some freedom. Be a little bit, forgiving of yourself. Give yourself some grace and allow yourself to flip to easy mode and just get some easy stuff done for a while. Spend a day doing easy stuff and it'll do amazing for you. The next day you'll feel better. I know that, I don't know if you're like me, but I have this constant pressure on myself to be superhuman. And I think that's good. I think it's ambitious. I think people should be ambitious. We should be trying to do the best we can, but not at the expense of our mental health and not at the expense of, having those genuine times when focus is really needed. So try the easy mode button. See how it works for you.